On a frigid February night in 1959, 9 ski mountaineers vanished without a trace in the Urals at Dyatlov Pass. This chilling mystery would haunt rescuers forever, leaving an indelible mark on the region's history. In late January, a group of 10 skilled skiers embarked on a challenging journey to Vyzhy, Sverdlovsk province, aiming to conquer Mount Otorten. The team was led by Igor Dyatlov, an experienced expedition leader. He was joined by ski instructor Alexander Zolotaryov, engineers Rustem Slobodin, Yuri Krivonishenko, and Nikolai Thibeaux-Brinols, along with students Yuri Doroshenko, Zenata Kolmogorova, Lyudmila Dubinina, Alexander Kolevatov, and Yuri Yudin. Yudin, however, fell ill just before the trip and opted out, unknowingly saving his life. On January 27th, the remaining 9 began their trek through dense forests and serene, snow-covered landscapes. Initially, the journey was harmonious, filled with laughter and stunning views of the untouched wilderness. As they hiked, the camaraderie among the group grew, and the beauty of their surroundings provided a sense of peace. But on February 1st, as they approached Dyatlov Pass, the environment shifted dramatically. The lush forests receded, replaced by vast expanses of snow and an ominous sky. Determined to reach their destination, they aimed to camp on the southern slopes of the mountain. However, worsening weather forced them to alter their plans. They set up camp on the western side at the foot of Mount Kalakashal, ominously named Mountain of Death. This decision would prove to be fateful. Inexplicably, the group chose to pitch their tents on a treacherous icy slope instead of seeking refuge in the nearby woods, where they would have found greater shelter from the elements. After a modest meal, they settled in for the night, unaware that dawn would never come for them. The next day, rescuers discovered the abandoned campsite, revealing a scene that defied explanation. Tents were found torn open from the inside, and the hikers' belongings lay scattered in the snow. Some bodies were located far from the camp, suggesting a frantic escape. The mystery deepened as investigators uncovered bizarre injuries, including one hiker with a missing tongue and another with severe chest trauma, yet no external wounds. Theories emerged, ranging from an avalanche to secret military tests, but none could conclusively explain the tragedy. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries in history, captivating the imagination of adventurers and historians alike. What truly happened on that fateful night? The answers lie buried in the snow, waiting to be uncovered, as the haunting legacy of the Dyatlov Pass continues to intrigue and mystify. What happened that night in the Ural Mountains is a chilling mystery that has captivated the world for decades. Just before the expedition's departure, Igor Alexeyevich Dyatlov, the leader of the group, instructed family members to expect a telegram by February 14th. This message would signal their safe return from the challenging trek. However, that telegram never arrived, and as days turned into a week, the families of the 9 young adventurers grew increasingly anxious and worried. With each passing day, the anguish of the relatives intensified, leading them to take desperate measures. They reached out to the authorities, pleading for assistance in locating their loved ones. On February 20th, a massive search operation was launched, involving police, army personnel, students, and teachers from the Polytechnic Institute. This dedicated team set out into the harsh, unforgiving terrain of the Ural Mountains, determined to find the missing group or at least bring some closure to the families. Days passed with little hope until February 26th, when the first clues emerged from the snow. Rescuers stumbled upon a tattered, abandoned tent, half buried in the icy landscape. The canvas was torn from the inside, a detail that immediately raised disturbing questions about what had transpired that fateful night. Inside the tent, there was no sign of the group, only footprints leading away into the dark, dense forest, suggesting a frantic escape from whatever had frightened them. Approximately 500 meters away from the tent, rescuers discovered a large cedar tree. Beneath its branches lay the extinguished fire and the lifeless bodies of Yuri Nikolaevich Doroshenko and Yuri Alexeyevich Krivonishenko. Both appeared to have succumbed to hypothermia, lying in their underwear, as if they had fled the tent in a panic without taking the time to dress properly. The sight was haunting, raising more questions than answers. A little further from the cedar, 3 more bodies were located, including Dyatlov himself. The scene was grim, and the mystery deepened as investigators pondered the terrifying circumstances that led to their disappearance. What could have driven these experienced hikers to abandon their tent in such haste? Where were the remaining 4 members of the expedition? As the investigation continued, the chilling details of that night became a source of intrigue and speculation. The unanswered questions lingered, leaving a haunting legacy that continues to captivate those who seek to uncover the truth behind the Dyatlov Pass incident. The eerie silence of the mountains holds secrets that may never be revealed. 4 months after the tragic incident, the bodies of Nikolai Vasilievich Thibeaux-Brinols, Alexander Zolotaryov, Lyudmila Dubinina, and Alexander Kolevatov were discovered buried under 2 meters of snow in a forest ravine. This location was about 500 meters from where the initial findings had occurred. The scene was chilling, as the bodies exhibited horrific injuries, broken ribs and fractured skulls. Lyudmila's condition was particularly disturbing. She was found without her tongue, part of her jaw, and her eyes. Strangely, none of the bodies showed external signs of trauma, suggesting they had been struck by an invisible force from within. Investigators described the injuries as comparable to those sustained in a violent car accident, yet there was no external impact to account for the devastation. Adding to the mystery, the boys' clothing exhibited unexplained levels of radioactivity. Among the remains, metal fragments were discovered, but their origin was never clarified. Years later, an expedition in the same area reported sightings of luminous orange spheres in the sky, resembling those that residents of Ivdel claimed to have observed for months. Authorities dismissed these phenomena as R-7 missile tests, but the mystery surrounding the incident remained unresolved. The most unsettling aspect of this story is the complete lack of answers. Investigators revealed that on the night of February 2, 1959, a mysterious event compelled the young hikers to abandon their tent in a panic, leaving behind their clothing. They likely fled toward a nearby cedar tree, where Doroshenko and Krivonoshenko desperately attempted to climb for safety. Tragically, the freezing temperatures proved fatal. Despite extensive investigations, authorities ultimately closed the case without providing any explanations. Adding to the enigma, the entire area was declared off-limits for 3 years, further fueling speculation and intrigue. The unanswered questions surrounding this incident continue to haunt those who study it, leaving a chilling legacy of mystery and fear. What truly happened on that fateful night remains an unsettling enigma, as the shadows of the past linger on, waiting for the truth to be uncovered. The case has inspired numerous theories, ranging from secret military tests to paranormal encounters. Each theory adds another layer to the already complex narrative, captivating the imagination of researchers and enthusiasts alike. The haunting images of the hikers and the eerie silence of the forest serve as a constant reminder of the unresolved mystery. As time passes, the hope for clarity dims, but the story of these young adventurers continues to resonate, urging future generations to seek the truth behind the inexplicable events of that fateful night in 1959. It remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in history. Theories abound, each attempting to explain the tragic fate of 9 experienced hikers in 1959. One of the earliest hypotheses suggests that the Mansi, local indigenous people, attacked the group, forcing them to flee into the harsh wilderness. However, the absence of any signs of struggle or footprints other than those of the hikers casts doubt on this theory. Juden, the only survivor of the expedition, offers a different perspective. He believes that the group inadvertently trespassed into a military testing zone, becoming victims of a disastrous experiment. This theory raises questions about the activities occurring in the region during that time, hinting at a darker side of the mystery. Another theory revolves around avalanche paranoia. The chilling roar of an approaching avalanche may have sent the hikers scrambling from their tents in a panic, seeking refuge in the nearby woods. This reaction could have been exacerbated by their exhaustion from the cold and lack of sleep, leading to hasty decisions in a moment of fear. Some researchers speculate about the phenomenon of infrasound, which can create feelings of unease and panic. It is suggested that small, powerful vortices of wind could have generated imperceptible sound waves, psychologically destabilizing the hikers. Under the influence of these sounds, they might have fled into the freezing cold, leaving behind their gear and supplies. The mystery deepens as more theories emerge, each overlapping like layers of fog. Some propose that the hikers encountered a natural disaster, while others suggest they were victims of a more sinister event. The combination of harsh weather conditions, psychological stress, and possible external factors creates a complex web of possibilities. Decades later, the Dyatlov Pass incident continues to haunt those who seek answers. The snow-covered mountains of the Urals guard secrets that may never be revealed. Theories may provide fragmented glimpses into what transpired that fateful night, but none can definitively explain the chilling silence that enveloped the 9 hikers. As time passes, the story of the Dyatlov Pass remains a haunting enigma, inviting speculation and intrigue. What truly shattered their peace that night? The unanswered questions linger, echoing through the mountains, as the mystery endures, captivating the imagination of those who dare to explore its depths. The legacy of the Dyatlov Pass incident serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the unknown. Like and subscribe. Dark Chilling History. Thanks for watching.